What's up guys, welcome back to my channel, and today we're going to be talking about Palantir. Before we do get into this video, hit that subscribe button if you're brand new to this channel. I do all sorts of videos such as portfolio updates once a week, which will be actually tomorrow. Every Sunday I do them. And also I do videos such as Palantir, like you're watching now, stocks on NEO, CCIV, which is partnering with Lucid Motors. They're like my top picks at the moment, and I also do a few other stocks now and then. So if you find that interesting or want to see some content like that, then hit that subscribe button. That'd be much appreciated. Anyway, let's get into this video because Palantir I think is a very important one to talk about right now. So it closed at $23.95 and I've got 274 shares. I think I picked up 10 more shares. To be honest with you, I can't really remember because of how crazy this market's been this week. Well, the last 3 weeks, to be honest with you. So yeah, I've got 274 shares right now, and I am down £318. The FX impact's got better for me now. I was down £120 with the FX impact, now it's only £67. But yeah, so my average is $25.20. I was gonna probably buy in at $21, but I didn't because I was thinking, I've got enough. I'm really happy with the amount of money I've got in Palantir, and I didn't want to put more money in. I was thinking the only time I'll put more money in is if it got below $20, even though I know $21 is an absolute steal. I was just double checking because the way the markets have been recently, I was thinking who knows if it could break down to $20. That would be an absolute steal. So I was thinking, yeah, and if it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. I'm very happy with the amount I've got in. So yeah, that's my Palantir holdings at this moment in time. So I want to talk about this new partnership with Amazon AWS servers. It's not obviously Amazon itself, it's their servers. AWS stands for Amazon Web Services. They did a partnership with them a year ago, I believe, and it's now talking about Palantir have now, well, I'm going to read it to you. Palantir Technologies announced Friday its new enterprise resource planning ERP system with Amazon.com. Cloud Surface platform, Amazon Web Services, AWS, will be available to all AWS customers. So let's get into what happened. As we can see on the screen, Palantir's ERP suite is optimized to run on AWS to assist customers with data integration and analysis. The suite has already been adopted by a number of enterprises, including BP and Langes, I don't know how to say it to be honest with you, to enable significant cost savings within weeks, Palantir said in its blog. So that's awesome to hear about the partnership. So the ERP suite uses a Palantir Foundry data connector developed for ERP applications to improve data discovery, accelerate the time or value of the ERP data, democratize workflow creation, and drive faster business outcomes, the company stated in the blog. So really cool thing to hear from Palantir, and it just shows that it's even being used and they're helping with AWS service with Amazon, as there'll be some big customers using AWS and they can start getting familiar with Palantir software. And yeah, so I'm very excited with this one, and it's just really nice to hear some more well-established companies using Palantir. The one that I am waiting for is when Amazon hopefully one day properly use Foundry software for Palantir for their actual e-commerce business, because that would be awesome. If they had that, that'd be a huge contract. Another one is, I want to talk about Ark Invest, as we do cover this a lot. I want to see what they've been up to this week because it's been a bit of a mad week. So as you can see on the screen right now, the first one we see is in Ark W, and they actually sold $3.5 million worth of Palantir, and that's not worrying at all. I think they just need to free up some cash to buy into some of their other stocks, I reckon. And also they might have wanted to keep down the weight. As you can see, it's now 1.82, so they have gone up a lot since the 1.24% in the weight of their ETF, and now it's 1.82, so they have gone up a lot more. But I think it was more just to free up some cash and balance out the ETF, as obviously they've been hit hard, Ark Invest, big time, and I'm sure she'll buy some more. But actually, if we have a look at the Ark K, they bought $11.5 million worth, which is a load of shares of Palantir. It's not as much as we saw before, but that's still a lot. And now we're looking at 10.2 million shares in the Ark K for Ark Invest, which is awesome to see. I'm really excited for them to keep buying into Palantir, because it just shows, and they really do believe in it. We know what Kathy Wood said in previous videos that I've made. She really does believe in this company, and it is going to be huge. I'm very confident with this. Okay, the next thing is, this is quite exciting, even though I kind of It is getting a little annoying though with the whole GameStop situation, but I thought I'd tell you and show you guys what's going on with Wall Street Bet, as we all probably know. So if we have a look at the screen right now, Wall Street Bet is #1's target is GameStop. That's the one that everyone knows. GameStop, they've just been pumping it up, and there's been 3,581 mentions in that. But if we have a look at the second place, it's Palantir. I knew they were talking about Palantir, but I didn't think it was going to be a big thing. Mentions 3,048. And I thought I'd mention this because to be #2 in Wall Street Bets, that's crazy. And don't get me wrong, to be honest with you, don't want them to pump up Palantir. I don't want it to be an artificial pump and become this meme stock, or I just don't want that, because that's not what Palantir is about. I want organic growth, and that's the only thing I am a bit like, it's kind of annoying. But at the same time, it's good to note because people have got Palantir on their radar, and I think a lot of people really like Palantir, and that's another thing in the stock market, in my opinion as well. If you want a price to really succeed as well, is you need some hype behind the company, and I think a lot of people really do like Palantir. There's a lot of groups on Palantir in Discord, in Reddit. There's a lot of different groups in Palantir, and hopefully we can start building a bit of a community around Palantir. So I thought I'd show you that little screenshot because it is interesting. So what we're going to go on to next is we're going to have a little look at where I think Palantir is going to be heading. So when you look on the screen right now, I've drawn a trend line that looks like slow growth upwards, and this looks a really, really cool, good trend line, I think, because before we were going up like vertically, which was always a bit dangerous for massive downside. And I think if we can stick to this trend line just gradually going up, that'd be really good and perfect. I haven't gone too deep into it because it's a bit hard to, especially with how the market's going. If the market's going to start tumbling and crashing and not doing well, it's not going to be able to perform to what we want it to perform to. But if we do look at the MACDs, it does look like it could trade a little bit more sideways, Palantir, but I don't think that's a problem. I think that's okay, to be fair. The RSI is getting to the oversold territory, and yeah, I think it's below all of its moving day averages as well. So all I can say is now, obviously the price it is at now is an absolute steal, and I still do believe this. At the end of March, we are going to be seeing the high 30s. If the markets really do start absolutely performing, maybe we could touch the 40s. I did think it was going to touch the 40s before this correction happened, but because of the corrections happened now, I now just see it being in the 30s, mid 30s, hopefully the high 30s at the end of March. So yeah, I think definitely the mid 30s. If we can hit $35 by the end of March, that'll be really, really good. I think we could get that within 2 weeks, if I'm honest. So yeah, I want to now look into the option chain. So this is for 19th of March. So this isn't next week, it's the week after. And I think 2 weeks gives it a good idea of where we can see the stock going. Have a look at the $35 strike price. We've got 66,390 contracts in people's brokerage accounts. That's huge. A lot of people are liking the $35 mark. A lot of people are liking the $30 mark. We've got 67,859 contracts in people's brokerage accounts at the $30. So I do think, and I'm very confident, we are going to be getting in the 30s in the next 2 weeks, especially if the markets start being stable. I can see this doing really well. And you've got to bear in mind, when we were in the correction, there were times where we went up 6-7% with Palantir. Obviously we did have some big drop-offs as well, but there were times where it was holding up and doing well. And once the market starts stabilising, I think this is going to really do very well, this stock. It's interesting to note as well, the $40 strike price is 50,000. There's 50,000 contracts in people's brokerage accounts on the $40 strike price. So yeah, I was going to go into how much people are betting on it. So I will do it on the 35, because I think the $35 strike price is the one we want to really pay attention to, because I think that's the more realistic one. So if we do 66,390 times 23, that's a $1.5 million bet on it going to 35. So it's not crazy amounts of money from what we've seen before, but you got to bear in mind there's a lot of interest in other areas this time, and it's all scattered about. But a lot of people are betting on the price to go above the 30s. I'm very excited for this. So if you did enjoy this video, please hit that subscribe button and also give this video a like. Comment below if you've got any questions, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Well, actually, it'll be a portfolio update, so stay tuned.